Well, it's been a desperately frustrating night for Liverpool here at Anfield, beaten 2-1 by Chelsea in the Carabao Cup. For the first time in the club's history, they've gone out of this competition in successive seasons at their first hurdle. And in truth, they only had themselves to blame tonight. Jurgen Klopp made 8 changes, utilised the depth of his squad, but it was still a game that Liverpool really should have won. They started slowly. I think the one fear with so many changes was that it would be a bit disjointed and players looking rusty, and it certainly took them probably 25-30 minutes to get into their stride, and before then they were indebted to a couple of smart saves from Simon Mignolet, making his first appearance since January. He denied Morata on a couple of occasions, and so he could certainly hold his head high tonight, Mignolet, because he didn't do anything wrong. And then Liverpool grew into it. They had some decent chances. Naby Keita was lively. He went close. And then, early in the second half, Daniel Sturridge will be having nightmares about that miss, because it was a horrendous back pass from Christensen. Sturridge clean through, went around Caballero. Keeper got a little hand on it, but still Sturridge had time to just roll the ball into an empty net. Decided to take it early and knocked it wide. To I think the disbelief of everyone inside here tonight. To Sturridge's credit, he didn't dwell on that. It didn't dent Liverpool's morale. They absolutely dominated most of that second half. Really should have scored before Sturridge finally volleyed home acrobatically after Keita's strike had been parried by Caballero. And then Liverpool, with 11 minutes to go, they looked to be cruising to a hard-fought win, but they were undone by some slack defending and some attacking brilliance. I think also some pretty dodgy officiating came into it. I know Jurgen Klopp was fuming about the award of the free kick in the build-up to the equaliser. Certainly the assistant didn't flag against Naby Keita, despite the fact the incident was about a yard in front of him. But in the end, Hazard whipped in the free kick. Barkley, his header, brilliantly saved by Mignolet, but Emerson was quickest to the rebound to tuck it away. We did have VAR in operation here tonight, and they took a long look at that. I think it looked pretty clear that Barkley was marginally offside, but the goal was allowed to stand. And then Sturridge inches away from being the hero when his curler struck the bar, and Liverpool were still ruining that when Hazard, a piece of brilliance from him, slalomed his way into space and hammered it beyond Mignolet 5 minutes from time to settle the tie. I still think Liverpool should have done a lot better defensively with that. Yes, it's brilliant from Hazard, but you look at it again, he gets away from Keita far too easily, and Moreno, I thought, was a weak link for most of the night. Also, should have done a lot better. And the frustration for some of those fringe players is it's going to be a long time now before they get another chance, because there's no question Klopp's big guns will come back into it for Saturday night's trip to Stamford Bridge, which is now a revenge mission. And I certainly wouldn't knock Klopp for the team he picked tonight. I think it was the right move during such an intensive run of fixtures to shake things up and give key men a breather. I think this tonight reinforced just how important Virgil van Dijk is to Liverpool. Liverpool looked very uncertain defensively at times, and without his communication skills and organisation, I think you kind of only really appreciate what you've got till it's not there. And certainly Van Dijk will be one of a host of players who will come back in for the weekend. And Liverpool need to ensure this is just a blip. The League Cup was always fourth on the list of priorities this season. They've got bigger fish to fry. This is a team challenging, we hope, for the Premier League title and also for the Champions League crown. So they need to dust themselves off. The League Cup has gone for another year. Now they need to turn that negative into a positive. Just 2 competitions to focus on between now and January, and it's all about getting back on track down at Stamford Bridge on Saturday night.